Ladies and gentlemen, live from Hollis, Queens, with the WrestleMania rap, it's Run DMC!
Yeah, we about to get busy, y'all. Y'all want to rock out there? Everybody put their hands in the air, clap like this. Come on, everybody clap. Come on, everybody. I want everybody on the front say, come on, WrestleMania. Everybody up in here say, WrestleMania. Everybody up in here say, WrestleMania. This ain't WCW. This ain't Monday Night Raw. This ain't SmackDown. This ain't even WWE.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Time restraints, a 30-minute time limit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Marks on Commentary. I'm Jason Smith.
And I'm Eddie Brophy.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
So, you heard it right, 30 minutes, not an hour, as Jason liked on the last show. It was just too much natty ice in such a long period of time, sir.
I agree.
This is Marks on Commentary with Jason Smith and Eddie Brophy, and we're featuring... We actually have another co-host tonight.
Somebody's joining us on commentary.
Somebody has joined us, Kathryn Briden, who writes for faniq.com. Hello, Kathryn.
Hey, guys.
If anyone has listened to former abortion podcasts that I've created, Kathryn was once a co-host of a podcast I did until a girl got very drunk and angry at me. That's besides the point. We're going to talk wrestling tonight, specifically WrestleMania, because you got the new episode filmed live from Jason's bedroom on our site, correct?
Earlier this morning, it went up.
All right, first question. I want to jump right into this. Kathryn's got a phenomenal story. She actually interviewed a friend who got furniture from Mick Foley. She was a
awesome.
Yeah, Hurricane Sandy victim, and Kathryn's going to tell us about that. But right now, I want to ask, because I've been reading about this on the dirt sheets, and because apparently the WWE got, and I know you both watched Raw, because I was talking with both of you when it happened, the end of Raw. Your thoughts? CM Punk and Undertaker, dumping of the ashes.
I'll let the professional go first.
I'm far from professional, but thank you.
I can attest to that. She's far from professional, but go ahead.
I absolutely loved it. It made me hate him so much, and that's exactly what it was meant to do. Job well done. There was no better way that they could have handled that. I think them using Paul Bearer's death in the way that they're using it, and for him to dump the ashes all over Undertaker, it was such a horrific image. I'm a huge CM Punk fan, and I want nothing to do with him right now. And to me, that's a job well done.
Jason,
Absolutely.
Your take?
No, absolutely. And, the whole bit about... first his son was upset, and then he kind of retracted his, argument about it. I don't know if that's a work, even in itself, but if that's the case, I'm fine with it. I loved it. It worked for me, so... I remember even saying to you, Eddie, that he should pour out the ashes and throw it in his face.
So far, you, my friend, are the clairvoyant of wrestling writers. Now, I don't know if that means that we're smarter than them, or we're just as uncreative as they are. But
or they're copying from the show,
or that they're watching the show. More than one person watches the show. I'm impressed. No, I loved it because mad fucking heat. I remember that's all I wrote to Jason was fucking heat, dude. And the funny thing to me, and I've kind of taken issue with this lately, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but they kept referring to Kane as Undertaker's stepbrother. Now, I thought they were supposed to be brothers in the storyline, the same way that the ashes were supposed to represent Undertaker's parents. That's why I kind of took issue, because obviously I'm a mark, thank you. I like continuity, so I didn't understand why people were getting so upset. Obviously, this is a very Paul Bearer-heavy storyline. So, obviously, we all kind of just went, oh, those are Paul Bearer's ashes. What a dick. But, really, if it's the urn I remember from a kid, those are Undertaker's parents' ashes. Granted, symbolic because Paul Bearer used to always carry them. But I thought that was a brilliant... Monday Night Raw from beginning to end, and I wrote this rant on Facebook, and I might try to find it, but I had one friend be like, oh, is it about this comedian that performed the other night? I was so ashamed to admit that I was so angry, because Bret Hart posted his support of the program, and he was like, that was a brilliant ending. I loved this about the Divas, and then I loved this ending. And people 4 out of 10 stars. It was offensive. I hated it. Nothing pleases you people anymore. I'm a mark, and I'm public enemy number 1 to people in this industry, because I like to talk like I know what the fuck I'm saying. And even I shut the fuck up and was like, that was brilliant. That was the best way for a go home, to WrestleMania, the biggest stage of them all. That was fucking brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah,
Totally
agree.
I like that I have hosts that are just like letting me just like, yeah, I like this. Yeah, I agree. We concur, sir.
We've argued many times online about things we like and dislike, and one of the two things that we really agreed on is that, they just needed to really push their feud, and then they needed a solid reason for them to be arguing, because it really wasn't clear until now. And yes, he had the urn, but it's the Undertaker. He could have just punched him in the face.
Right.
And for him to take that extra step and go that far into just to be so disrespectful.
Right. Well, to put it personally, because on a personal note, like my dad's been diagnosed with cancer. Now, God forbid if something happened to him. If I'm in a rivalry with somebody, the first thing that I'm thinking that gives them the psychological edge is if they pour my dad's ashes on me. And then it's a fucking fight. Like, I didn't like you. I think you're cocky and arrogant. I have something that there's a symbol of me out there that you're trying to tear down, and that pisses me off. You're never going to do it because I'm immortal. I'm the fucking Undertaker. I have magical powers. I'm a sorcerer. The second you pour my parents' ashes or my late father's ashes on me, I'm going to fucking kill you. That is the edge that this match needed. And it sucks that, William Moody, Paul Bearer had to pass away to give the WWE writers such a fucking edge, because otherwise I don't give a fuck about this match. I don't care. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, 21-0, Undertaker takes it. He always does. Vince loves his baby. Now I got to question that. I absolutely have to question that. And how fitting to have Paul Heyman come out dressed as Paul Bearer.
I know.
That was genius. That was awesome.
Even though, I was waiting for that at Mania for Taker to come out with a tribute. It's not going to work now. It worked 100% for that gimmick. Like, holy fuck. Like, dude, you're playing this guy over a loudspeaker. He's gone. He's not. Oh, and now you're dressed like. That was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So, moving on now, because Jay had texted me this earlier today when I was at work.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm going to jump all over you. I remember seeing this and going, oh, this is happening. This is going to work. I hope you're talking about the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
I remember looking, Living Color's website, and there they are, Saturday, the 6th. They're playing in New York. They're off Sunday, and I think they're in Boston the next day. And I'm going, they're going to be at Mania. And I was so mad because I thought I had the Trump All story break for this podcast, and then it comes out today, and I'm all pissed. So
it doesn't, but that's going to be, I will not that's going to blow the fucking venue. And I think that's such a great opportunity for them, because they've been such a great fucking band over the years, and they faded into obscurity. And that's when you pick a licensed song, a song that was that big of a hit when it was originally released, and you license it for commercials or whatever, it's great exposure because it keeps the song alive. The fact that the actual band will be there to perform it live for Punk, I'm excited for Living Color. Fuck the entrance. I'm excited for them. They're a great fucking band. That's huge. And Mania needs more musical moments, like Triple H coming out with Motorhead playing. That was a great moment. The best was the DX band playing in Shawn Michaels. Yep. So to me, I always have associated, and you heard Run DMC in the beginning of this podcast, live music and Mania are just synonymous with each other. Like, even last year, I got goosebumps with The Rock and Cena and their entrances with their respective musical talent. I thought that was phenomenal because I like the idea that the one thing, and I've bitched about this to Jason on the show, is that I watch Survivor Series and I'm just like, what's the point? You don't have traditional Survivor Series. You don't have something, I don't want to say nostalgic, but you don't have something that made this what it is. You know what I mean? Like Survivor Series was traditional Survivor Series matches, Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, what have you. WrestleMania always has live music. To have a band that has kind of faded into obscurity come back and do this song, and maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, that is Punk's theme. Through and through. Yeah. I have loved that song for years, but that is fucking Punk's song.
Yeah. That's been his theme since he was in ROH, so.
Yeah.
I mean, even it's Kathryn's ringtone, I believe.
Yeah, when I get a phone call, that is my ringtone. And I actually set it that way, I believe, before he debuted with it. I've had it that way for a long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs.
It's just it's.
I'm almost more excited that Living Color is going to be playing than I am for actual WrestleMania. Is that bad?
No. Because I don't know, something about Before Today, this felt like just a transitional WrestleMania where we're going from 28 to 30, you know, like how 27 I didn't think was all that great, but now I'm actually kind of interested to see what's going to happen on the show. So I don't know if it was the press conference that sold me on it, but
I did enjoy the press conference.
And unlike you two, I didn't get a chance to see because I was at work today. Any particular highlights other than was Living Color? I believe they were mentioned at the press conference. Any particular highlights from the press conference that stood out to either one of you?
I'm not sure if it was actually planned as part of the press conference, but my favorite was the interaction between John Cena and CM Punk.
I didn't catch that. What?
CM Punk came up and did his whole spiel wearing normal Punk attire, t-shirt. He was actually wearing a Cesaro shirt, which I thought was hilarious.
that was awesome.
With jeans and a sweatshirt. And when John Cena came out, he was making fun of all the people who had done their spiel before him and referred to him, I believe, as an average pedestrian-looking guy. And so CM Punk was not pleased and kept giving him dirty looks when they all came out for the photo op at the end. So afterwards, when poor Matt Striker, was doing the interviews, and he was supposed to be talking to John Cena, CM Punk came into John Cena's interview and interrupted him to confront him about the fact that he called him, like, average and pedestrian. And it was just absolutely hilarious, because it was just one of those moments. It's like, I really hope this wasn't planned, because it is now my favorite.
Okay, can I just intervene here? Now, there was an argument online that I read, Rock Austin or Rock Triple H. To define the Attitude Era, my favorite rivalry, the definitive rivalry, is Rock Triple H. It's not Rock Austin, it's Rock Triple H. Cena, Punk are the Rock Triple H of this era right now.
Yes.
No matter what happens, deep down, I want to believe that backstage they're actually pretty chummy, like they get along. But when they're in the ring, man, for Cena to trust Punk to pull off that pile driver on a Monday Night Raw weeks before this huge main event match, because as much as I want Taker and Punk to take the main event, I think it's going to be Cena Rock, unfortunately. But for Cena to trust his livelihood in Punk's hands to pull off that move, that's huge to me. That's like a solidarity, like, you're my guy till the end of time. Like, you know, Punk and Cena are Rock Triple H, and hearing that is like, wow, like that totally solidifies it. Like, that rivalry will never die.
They just have fantastic chemistry. Every time they're in the ring, every time one of them has a mic in their hands, just the chemistry between the two is just miraculous.
Well, there's such polar opposites too. I mean, Cena is Hogan, and Punk to me is more like a combination of Macho and Bret Hart. So
what about Roddy Piper-ish?
Roddy's got that on the mic, absolutely, because Bret Hart would be the first to say he was terrible on the mic. And Macho Man was more of a character, so obviously he was great on the mic. But yeah, there's definitely that Piper edge to Punk that
the anti-Hogan, whatever.
Yeah, the anti-Hogan, but he's the anti-Hogan who got his due finally.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think it's a shame that Piper never held the title. Never held the title.
I agree.
But you know what? Hogan's surrounded by controversy regarding his personal life and whatever. And you know what? Piper is just sitting pretty. Because you know what? I was fucking Roddy Piper. I told it like it was, on screen and off screen. I don't have any skeletons in my closet. So I'm Roddy fucking Piper. I was in They Live. You can shut the fuck up. That's how I look at it personally. But no.
So I did have one highlight that I kind of was weirded out about the press conference. Not weirded out, but took as an odd way to do it. Mark Henry comes out, and he's supposed to be playing this big burly heel right now, and he's walking out, and he's got the big, smile from ear to ear, and then he's getting like choked up, and I'm like, what are you trying to do with this guy? Like, I don't know. It threw me off. You should go back and watch that one, Eddie, because it's like.
I think that's just Mark Henry, though. I really don't, because Mark Henry, that's from what I said.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
I know he's the good jolly guy, but. When you're trying to sell a match, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, but I'm walking out there with a big smile on my face. Like, I don't know. That didn't work for me.
We can't kill sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate needs to come out. He's no matter what, Hall of Pain, whatever. You're still sexual chocolate. You're the big black teddy bear, and I love you, and your shitty gimmicks, and the hand, and you're just.
And the transvestite.
And the I keep forgetting that. Like, Jason's just like, dude, remember the transvestite? And I'm just like, the hand, Jason. But he's just such a I was so proud when he got the world heavyweight title because it was like, God damn it, finally someone who, like, when he's not on TV, I'm actually sad because it's like, he's not the most innovative and he's not the most intriguing, but God damn it, it's like, dude, this guy works his ass off. Like, and he's had good matches. Maybe not 4-star matches, but he's had good fucking matches. So it just sucks because it's like Big Show. Like, what do we do with this guy? He's big, okay. That's his gimmick. Like, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I'm almost insulted that let's put him with Ryback so Ryback can have his Hulk Andre moment. Dude, he's put in so much time and fucking work. Like, give him something other than being Andre the Giant. Like, I get he's a big guy, but man, like, his matches with Big Show even when they had were actually really good matches. They had, they were kind of stiff, at times, but they were good matches. Good fucking. I mean, now at this point, do we have? Personally, I'm shocked as shit that Trish Stratus asked Steph to induct her into the Hall of Fame.
I think that's more of a corporate move.
Probably.
Because Stephanie is one of the two faces of the company now, and she needs to be in that role. And I think that was them saying, this is what's going to happen, not who would you like to have you induct you. So,
well, I think it shocked the shit out of people because we all know Trish and Lita are really good friends. At the same time, though, I respected it as a sense that where Steph is the face of the company, she's a woman. She's a strong, fucking, powerful woman. I've always loved Steph. Like, heel, face, real person. I've always appreciated Steph McMahon. Yeah. When Shane walked away from the company to do his own thing, I was bummed out because, the father-son thing, like, oh, Shane's got to take this. But I think it's cool that his daughter's going to take the company, personally. Yeah.
She'll handle the corporate side of it, and Triple H will handle more of the wrestling side. So.
And personally, from beginning to end, that was a Triple H Raw. I sincerely believe that was a Triple H influenced Raw. I absolutely loved the bit with him and Michaels. I actually thought that was a really well done promo leading into him and Brock. And I like you, I'm waiting for DX. I was expecting it then. I was waiting for the break it down and for X-Pac and the Outlaws to come out and take care of business, but
we'll save that.
Walking straight at this point.
Oh my God! Literally, the man has busted his anus for this.
Do we have an anus update?
We don't have an anus update. Poor X-Pac. Like, I love the guy, but he's such a train wreck, and it just feels like nothing works in his favor. I still love X-Pac. I was telling Jason, like, man, if I ever got, we were talking about, shows that do shitty interviews with wrestlers. Like, man, if I ever got the opportunity, I don't want to ask him about DX or this or that. Like, I want to ask him about Jason knows his name because I'm spacey. The wrestling show he did for MTV. I loved it. I fucking loved it. And I was so proud because X-Pac was a main card, like an upper card guy, and it was like good for him. Like, he's a great fucking worker. But I do want to mention this because Jason posted this on the Facebook page, Mark's on Commentary on Facebook, like us. Paul Heyman guy shirt.
I love that new thing. I'm getting. I think that's a limited edition because it's not even up on WWE Shop yet. So. And
for those of you who don't know, Jason will be in Mania, and you're leaving tomorrow, correct?
Yes, tomorrow afternoon.
Jason,
very fucking excited.
He will be at Mania, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to give Jason your money, and I'll probably post this late tonight, tomorrow, so it'll be too late. But if you want to, give Jason your money for a Paul Heyman guy shirt, let him know.
Yeah. Well, I got actually a thing I can post here for you guys. I'm going to Access tomorrow evening. I don't want to be the typical Mark and ask stupid questions of people. I was looking for some suggestions of what I can ask certain people when I'm there. So let me give you a rundown. You can kind of pick one. Miz will be there, Del Rio, Shield, Kofi, DiBiase, Jr., I imagine. Well, it doesn't say, actually.
Can I just point out that the second you say Miz, Kathryn goes quiet because she's having a Mizgasm right now.
You know what? Just because I'm wearing a Miz Snuggie right now doesn't mean anything.
Because of the fact that Kathryn even owns a fucking Miz Snuggie that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, that exists.
My brother got it for me for Christmas, like 2 years ago.
So believe me, Kathryn, she was kind of afraid to message you because she's like, oh, we haven't been formally introduced. You will be inundated with Kathryn Mizgasm references from now until the time you come home.
Okay. Well, Zack Ryder's going to be there, so I'm going to have to get a photo with him. So
again, I'm not a Zack Ryder detractor. I want this guy to do well. lose the fucking stupid gimmick in the hair, go legitimate fucking heel on us, do the Punk thing, drop the pipe bomb, say, what is this company doing to me? Come back, man, because honestly, I have never heard an ovation for someone like I heard for Ryder when I went to Raw during the dark match with him, Punk, and Cena. He's overdue. Like, he's got to come back. Like that.
He's just getting too desperate. Like, some of the stuff is funny, but then some of the things he's like, the push me trunks were funny once, but now we've seen him 3 or 4 times, and there's just it's piling on, and it's coming across as desperate and needy, and it's like, I love Zack Ryder. I think he's hilarious. I follow him on Twitter, but like, I'm falling out of love with him because it's getting to be too much. He's putting too much out there and demanding too much for something that he's not going to get until something changes.
Well, speaking of Twitter, because Jason, and again, I give so much credit to Jason because I'm so bad with the social media thing. I like to drink bourbon and cokes and just talk about my life on my personal Facebook. I don't want to go anywhere near Marks on Commentary because I'm just going to be like, oh, you see the profound significance. That's all, Jason. But we're on Twitter. I know. Is it at Marks on Commentary?
It's like MO Commentary or something. We couldn't fit Marks on Commentary.
By we, he means I couldn't fit this. Same with Facebook. We're on Facebook.
You can find all the information on our Facebook page. Though.
But I want to segue because there's a question I have that will lead into Kathryn's story because we have about less than 10 minutes before we wrap up the show.
Cool.
Is that Mick Foley, they're going to broadcast some of the Hall of Fame, and their picks are Bruno, Donald Trump, Trish Stratus, so that's it. Mick Foley got the fucking,
the boot.
Yeah, he got the
Not
boot.
anymore.
Well,
yeah, I just kind of saw that too.
Yeah, they confirmed that they are going to show the Mick Foley induction because, like, such a stink was raised today, I believe. They announced it a couple hours ago, and Mick Foley was actually the first one to announce it.
Well,
the news came from Santa Claus.
Given that, Kathryn does write for FanIQ.com. It's a new job title. She's blogging about wrestling. So I'm hoping that after I tell this and I promote her shit, she'll promote our shit because that's what community college buddies do, isn't it, Kathryn?
That's what friends do.
Exactly.
Specifically NECO students. That's what NECO students who hang out in parking lots of dudes that ride unicycles do.
It's true.
Kathryn has a friend, as I mentioned before, Hurricane Sandy victim, her family lost everything. If you could, in under maybe 8 minutes, tell your story, if it's possible. If you're a good storyteller, you'll be able to pull this off.
Yeah, sure. So I have my friend Alex, who I met when I was going to school in New York. She lives in Long Beach. I had the honor of writing a story about her. She's absolutely fantastic. She's a student. She works, volunteers for the police department in Long Beach. And when Hurricane Sandy hit, she actually spent the day evacuating the city and finally went back to her house and waited for the waters to recede. She got into her house and found out there had been 4 feet of water in her house. She lost absolutely everything except like a coffee table and a couple of end tables. She spent 2.5 months living with family, living on the floor. And, they've just been waiting to rebuild their house. They finally have a new place to rent. And 2 weeks ago, the 24th of March, Mick Foley posted on his Twitter and was like, hey, we just redid our house. We have a bunch of furniture. Does anyone need anything? And she tweeted him, because, us, we always tweet things to people and never expect anybody to ever write back. And he actually tweeted her back and got her information, and a truck showed up at her house and they gave her a table, 6 chairs, and a hutch for their dining room.
Oh, wow.
And so she's got all this furniture donated to her from him. They're still in touch. He's still contacting her. And she asked him, hey, would it be okay if somebody wrote an article about this? And he said yes, as long as she invites him to dinner, which of course she agreed to. And so I wrote an article about it. I got to interview her, and it was actually really hard to interview her about it because it was something so personal that happened to a friend of mine. And we posted the article, and he actually read it and wrote to her and told her that he read it, which in and of itself was insane. But as of right now, we almost have 8,200 views on the site. And actually this morning, when he was doing his radio shows for WrestleMania going into the Hall of Fame induction, he was at Q104.3, and they asked him about my article.
Oh, wow.
and he sat there and told Alex's story, and happened to throw in there that the article was beautifully written, which is the only shout out I need for the rest of my life. So that video is actually up on their website. So if you go to q1043.com and scroll down to the Mick Foley section,
Hey.
you can actually watch the video of
No,
him
hey.
talking.
Who was in radio? Who worked in radio for 4 years? This guy. I drop names, god damn it. Bear in mind that the only interaction in my lifetime I have with Mick Foley was working for a comedian and having Mick Foley and Cole Cabana come to Worcester to do his tour. Mick Foley calls my ass when I'm sitting in Stoneham in this home office, asking me for directions to the comedy club that I've never been to, and I got Mick Foley lost. And he had to call back twice while I'm frantically going through notebooks being like, I know where you're going, absolutely. She gets a shout out on a radio station, and I get the poor motherfucker lost. And this guy, and Kathryn is new to wrestling. I've been watching Mick Foley for years, and all I can do for the guy is get him lost. Just
Can I
saying.
just say, as someone who's heard this story 3 or 4 times and has had you in the car when I've gotten lost in Boston, that story never gets old.
No, because I'm a fuck up, and Mick Foley knows it, Kathryn knows it, now Jason knows it, now the world knows it. All I ask of Kathryn, because apparently now Mick Foley follows her,
Yeah,
make
it's true.
sure he hears this so I can formally apologize. I hated my job. I hated my boss. He couldn't even spell your name right, and you even wrote that on your MySpace page. That was not my doing. I tried to write a press release for you. They told me it sucked. They told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I told them everything about you. It's not my fault, Mick. I've never been to Worcester. I very rarely leave my house. If you want to come and have dinner with me, that would be fantastic. My dad has cancer. I don't know if that helps anything.
You're more broken up than I'm sure he is. He doesn't probably even remember this. So.
Oh, God, probably not. Hell no. Oh, that asshole got me lost. All right, whatever. Just saying. Anyways, Mick Foley, I'm glad you're going to be broadcast. Honest to God, you should be fucking headlining. You're a respectable guy, Bruno Sammartino. I'm talking like Mick Foley's listening. I get it, but that pissed me off because it's like, dude, that guy gave his body for this business. He deserves better. And Kathryn, fuck you. I'm nominated for a writing award, but Mick Foley thought you're beautiful, or your words were beautiful, so. Wait till he finds out you're holding out for The Miz. God damn.
No, The Miz is taken. I'm not holding out for The Miz anymore. It's all about Sheamus and or Dean Ambrose.
Oh, Dean Ambrose. I'd go gay for Dean Ambrose. I will admit that. He's that.
I really like gingers. You know
No,
this.
I said that on the last show. Something about that guy's look, man. That guy just looks like something that would fuck you up. I am so mad that they put the kibosh on his would-be rivalry with Mick Foley. Like, the promos they were cutting, everything was beautiful. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, that could have been Austin Punk worthy, but.
Yeah. Oops.
What was that? Was that your Mizgasm? Yeah.
No.
You know, I'm trying not to make us look like a bunch of fanboys with too much time on our hands, and there you go with the yeah. Yeah. You ever see Blank Man?
Yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jason sounds like a fucking, like, baritone. Like, you sound like you're hosting a, like, late night, like, bedtime magic type thing.
Hello.
I'm Jason Smith.
It's after hours.
I'm here to tuck you in at night. Like, when did you become? That's it. You're sexual chocolate. You're vanilla chocolate from now on.
Vanilla chocolate.
Fuck you. New nickname, vanilla chocolate. Do you talk to your girlfriend with that voice? Hey, baby.
That's why it works.
I know it's been a long day.
Oh God.
But it's sexual, baby. I don't get it. But WrestleMania. This is our first podcast. It exceeded my expectations, at least, I think. But final picks. Punk and Taker should be ending the show. It really.
I don't think it is because Rock seemed to very intimate throughout the press conference. I'm main event. So I don't think we're getting that. So
fuck you, Punk Taker. I mean, I love Taker. I don't get me wrong, because I've talked like I don't love Taker on the show because he's had some bad matches. But again, this is a great character actor and a great athlete, but he's not like top notch. But man, that guy has sold that character for years. With the ending we got on Raw and just his entire career, give it to Punk Taker, man. I mean, because you might never see something of this caliber again. You may never have this kind of opportunity land in your lap again. But according to Adobe Audition, we are at 30 minutes already. So I'm going to wrap it up. I was, sort of lazy, so I don't have like a song to end us out on. But any final Shut up! I'm going to search through iTunes and see. I could play WrestleMania rap again, I guess, or Florence and the Machine, because that's all I got queued up. But any final thoughts on Mania with either of you?
I think it's a lot better than I originally thought it is going to be, so I'm excited now. Well, obviously, but I think it's going to be great. I mean, it's fucking WrestleMania. I mean, you can sit around all day and then fucking show pops up and it's fucking go time, so.
Kathryn, any final thoughts before we end this thing?
I mean, clearly I'm disappointed about some aspects of it. I'm one of those people, I'm hard to please, but I'm definitely looking forward to some of the big matches, and I just need to stay positive, and I think I'll really enjoy it.
I am super excited to see Living Color. I'm excited for Punk Taker. I'm even excited for Brock Triple H. I think we got a solid card building, and honestly, I'm excited to see what happens. So,
Dolph cashes in.
I hope so. Yeah,
I think it's time.
Anyways, that's Marks on Commentary via podcast. The new show's up at MO Commentary on Twitter, Marks on Commentary on Facebook, Marks on Commentary YouTube. Kathryn Briden, faniq.com. This has been Eddie Brophy, Jason Smith, Kathryn Briden. Thank you for listening.
Thanks.